Nothing, and I mean nothing, has changed my life more than this one strategy that I'm going to talk about in this video. I've uploaded over 300 videos on this channel. Pretty much all of them are on the subject of personal development, so how you can build yourself up, achieve more, live a happier life, live a more fulfilling life. And I talk about probably hundreds of strategies on this channel on exactly how to do that. And I genuinely mean this, no exaggeration. Whenever I'm stuck in life, whenever I was struggling with my grades at school, or when I've hit a ceiling with my business, this one strategy, without fail, has pulled me out of the place where I was stuck and elevated me to the next level. So the idea for making this video came up when I was talking to a friend who's also a YouTuber on a Zoom call the other night, and he asked me that exact question. He said something like, "You've made hundreds of videos on personal development. What's your number one strategy that if someone implements, it will change their life?" And without hesitation, I said networking. I didn't even have to think about it, because honestly, nothing else even comes close. You see, and I can't stress this enough, the people around you have such a big influence on what you do, on what you achieve. If you surround yourself with negativity and pessimism, then that will inevitably drag you down, right? If you surround yourself with positivity and high achievers and big thinkers, that energy will transfer to you too. And I'll give you an example. So from 2016 to 2020, I was making pretty generic motivation videos. For 4 years, I was essentially making the same type of video over and over again. The same type of video for 4 years. Exactly like this.
3 things will make you successful. A continuous interest in improving yourself, being self-aware, and work. And I mean lots of it.
And after making videos like this for so long, I had lost all creativity. I was really kind of stuck in a way. Then around October, I saw a post in a Facebook group. It was a Facebook group for content creators and creatives in the city that I'm in. And this person was asking if anyone could edit their YouTube videos for them because they've just started a YouTube channel. So I messaged him and I said, "I'm not looking to edit your videos, but there's so much more to YouTube than just editing videos. There's SEO, there's learning the algorithm, attractive titles and thumbnails, that kind of thing." So I asked him if he wants to grab a coffee sometime and let's have a chat. And long story short, this guy's ambition was like no one I've ever met. He was so ambitious, so resourceful, so determined. And it wasn't like he had any direct input in my YouTube channel. He didn't say, "Oh, you should do this or you should do that." It was literally just his ambition and energy that transferred from him to me, because that positive energy really is infectious. And so it made me think bigger. It made me more ambitious. And after 4 years of making the same type of motivational videos, I finally bought a camera, bought some lighting, created some kind of studio, and I made this. At high school, I graduated with a 1.3 GPA, and at university, I graduated with a 4.0 GPA. So what did I do differently? What happened in those years in between? And this video blew up. It's about 7 daily habits of high performance students, and I think right now it's on about 1.6 million views. If you want to check it out, you can click on the pop-up banner above, but that was a huge turning point for this channel. It was almost validation that I can put my face in the videos, and by doing that, I provide more value to you guys than the generic motivation videos I've been posting for the last 4 years. So that one decision, that one pivot I made on this channel has completely transformed the business that I'm now running. I've also started businesses completely separate from Product Elon that wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't made that initial change on the Product Elon channel. And that was a direct result of meeting one person. And that right there is just one example of how meeting someone can completely change the course of your life. I can give you literally dozens of other examples. Like back in 2013, I was lazy, I was unmotivated. I had been all my life, but after traveling to Singapore and meeting some extremely successful people, at least in monetary and business terms, some of them driving Lamborghinis and other driving Ferraris, it really opened my eyes to what is possible, because you know, these were just ordinary people, yet they achieved incredible things. And as a direct result of meeting these people and being so fueled with motivation, that's why I started this exact YouTube channel, to help motivate and inspire others. So if it wasn't for meeting those people, this YouTube channel would never have been made, and the course of my life would be completely different. You see, 2013 was a massive turning point in my life. I was able to completely change my mindset. I changed from thinking like the average person to thinking more like a high performance person thinks. And I learned so many strategies and mindset hacks. And just to kind of give you an example of how this affected me in the real world, my grades at high school and for my whole educational career up to that point were about a D+ on average. Most of my exams, most of my assignments, I'd get my grade back and I'd be getting around a D+, which isn't completely completely terrible, but it's not exactly good either. However, after completely changing my mindset and how I look and see the world around me, I graduated university with a first-class economics and finance degree and in the top 5% of my university. I mean, it really was that transformational. It's also why I created the Transform Your Grades in 30 Days course, because I was able to transform my grades, but I transformed my mindset first. And that's what I teach in the course. I teach exactly how I did it by using strategies such as networking, but also other methods like Pareto principle, habit stacking, social media detoxes, that kind of thing, and specific strategies on how to overcome procrastination long term. And there's a workbook, a productivity planner, quizzes, a private community, basically everything you need to transform your grades. And we're currently running a 50% promotional offer, so do check it out. There's a link in the description below. So I can give you so many examples throughout my life where networking has changed my life time and time again. Whenever I've been stuck or felt uninspired or just kind of lost my way, often people just stumble into my life and kind of help inspire me. In fact, it just happened a few months ago. I was watching a YouTube video and the YouTuber was living in Saigon in Vietnam, the same city that I'm living in. So I emailed him and I asked him if he wants to grab a coffee. He replied with a time and place and I confirmed, and the next day we were chatting face to face. But what's interesting is that as a direct result of meeting him, 2 weeks ago I started a completely new business venture. So again, another example of how just meeting one person can kind of spark enough creativity for you to make drastic action in your life. And that's important. Networking and meeting new people triggers you to take massive action. It's like, I know a lot of you watch my videos, some of you even binge watch them because I see the data in the back end of the channel in the analytics, but then you'll just walk away and do nothing, right? So it hasn't really helped you that much. And I'm sure many of you have watched Marty Lodbell's Study Less, Study Smart video on YouTube. It's on almost 15 million views right now, but he mentions how if you watch a presentation or you watch a video and it doesn't change your behavior, then it means you haven't really learned it.
It's so easy to sit through a presentation, say, yeah, that sounds good, and then walk away and do nothing. Technically, as a psychologist, if it doesn't change your behavior, you haven't learned it. It's just in your head. To be a true learning experience, you have to behave differently.
And I think that's why networking is so powerful, because it prompts you to elevate your game to the next level. So then how do you network? I mentioned a few ways earlier in the video. Sometimes I literally just cold email people that are interesting. I sometimes reply to posts in Facebook groups asking to meet up for coffee. But in both of these cases, I had already built a fairly big YouTube channel, so it's a lot easier to meet people because you'll find that people want to meet other people that are kind of good at what they do, right? So the better you are at something and you can show that with tangible evidence, so with, for example, a decent sized YouTube channel or a business, or maybe you've built up a strong reputation in your field, then it's far easier to network, right? You can also go to networking events in your city. For example, last week I went to an NFT networking event, which was really good. And on Friday, I'm going to a digital marketing event, and on Saturday, a content creators networking event. But I do want to say this, networking is the one strategy that has worked for me time and time again. Back in 2013, meeting the right people completely changed the course of my life. I had this kind of new level of motivation that I'd never experienced before. And to be honest, I thought it would just be kind of like short term, right? I thought that maybe that motivation would slowly fade away, but it really hasn't. If anything, it's just getting stronger over the years. So networking also played a major role into why I moved from the UK to Vietnam to live permanently about 2 years ago. And there were some other reasons too, which I talk more about in a video I uploaded a few weeks ago called Why I Packed My Bags and Moved to Vietnam. You can click on the card on the screen to watch that. Alternatively, I made another video which is taking off right now on how I overcame my procrastination addiction. You guys seem to love that video. You can click on the card on the screen and do check out the Transform Your Grades in 30 Days course. I transformed my life. Now it's time to transform yours, and I teach you step by step how to do that. Link in the description below.